Hey everybody, it is the Shirted audio file. And I've had a lot of good response and comments and things about the shit Yallerhorn videos. I've had a lot of people comment, a lot of people watching. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the new subscribers I've gotten. Probably as a direct result of those videos, I'm almost certain. And it's just been very, very exciting the last few days, or the last, I think, 12 days, week and a half since I put the videos up. And I thought I would take a minute and talk about a few of the criticisms that have been levied about my review style and my setup and things like that. So, first off, we have my hi-fi setup. Unfortunately, it is the way that it is. Is it ideal? No. I'm not under any illusions about it being, it's God perfect, but it is the way that it has to be for the moment. And I feel personally, sitting around listening to it, I feel that I've achieved the best of a bad situation. It sounds good to me in its current configuration. I understand it's in a corner, and I understand sitting in a corner, unless it's a Klipschorn, is less than ideal. I get that. But at the same time, it sounds good to me. Through the medium of YouTube and compressions and MP3 fied and things of that nature, it may not come across as sounding all that great. But here, when I'm sitting listening to music, which I do quite often, it sounds good. It sounds enjoyable in the way that I listen to music. Okay. The only person who has to enjoy a system is you, or your system is you, and I do. So there we go. Eventually, I'll probably like to move it out. My wife and I are going to be moving from our current house into a bigger house, so I'll probably end up with a scenario where I can actually have a dedicated listening room, and I'm excited about that. So stay tuned for that. However, then we move on to my long-windedness. And I understand I can be long-winded, but you have to understand two things. First off, I'm not new to doing hi-fi. I'm not new to reviewing gear, okay? I know I'm pretty new this time around, or it may seem like it, but those that recognize me and what have you will remember back to the budget audiophile. And ran that channel for 3 years roughly. I had about 3 to 4,000 subscribers. I wasn't huge, but but I had a good following, and people liked the way I did it. Number two is that at the time I started the budget audiophile and I started reviewing hi-fi gear, there were a lot of purchasing decisions I was trying to make at the time that I started to do it, and people were reviewing gear in a way that I didn't really like. They would just show it and say, "Ooh, here it is." Like this remote, for example. They'd say, "Oh, here's the remote. It's got these buttons. There you go." But they wouldn't really talk about, oh, that this button's actually sticky, and this one doesn't work all that well unless you actually have it pointed, and things like that. And yes, those points come across as very long-winded, but at the time, I felt they were necessary because they were the things that I as a purchaser, I as a consumer, wanted to hear about. And so I made it my mission to talk about them when I reviewed gear. And as I said, yes, that means the videos are long-winded, but during the 3 years and all the subscribers I amassed, I had a lot of people that liked my style of reviewing gear. They liked the long-windedness, they liked the way I presented, and they liked the fact that I went into such heavy detail on a piece of gear instead of just talking about A to B to C and we're done. A lot of people liked it. And sorry if it comes across as rude, but if you don't like the way I review gear, then don't watch it. No big deal. As to the shirtlessness, well, I am shirted now, but anyway, what can I say other than when I'm home and I'm in my personal space with my wife and we have our son, I go around, with my shirt off, okay? That's the way I live my life, all right? It may not be the way everybody does it, but I don't pass judgment on people that don't, and I don't really expect people to pass judgment on me either. I don't really see it as bad. Growing up as a kid, a lot of the male members of my family, whether that be my father, my uncle, and all kinds of things, they go around with their shirt off. when it was sort of more low key. Obviously, if we had guests come over, people would put their shirts on. And today, if I have somebody come over, my wife's friends were over not long ago, and we had kind of like a wine cheese kind of thing. Obviously, I'll wear a shirt. But in my personal life, when I'm just sitting around doing nothing, watching TV or listening to music, as I often do, I typically go around with my shirt off. And another point too is I tried to make it as a differentiator from the budget audiophile. I tried to do it in a way that was almost kind of gimmicky in a way. I didn't think that was going to be a bad thing, right? And I guess that's it. I want to say I have some products to review. I have one that I've had for a while, and I've been using, and it's been a great product. It's been a great thing. I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm excited to sort of share my thoughts with you guys on it. And it's probably going to be one of my few upcoming videos in terms of hi-fi gear, in terms of reviewing. As I said in a video a while back, I want to take, and the primary focus of this channel is I want to do a music review sort of channel. I've picked up a lot of good records lately, a lot of interesting records, a lot of unique records, and I've fallen in love with a lot of them, and I thought it would be interesting to sort of talk about it and sort of talk about that kind of stuff. Because you have a lot of channels that cover particular aspects of music or genres or what have you, or bands even, but they don't focus on an eclectic mix, and I thought that would be kind of neat. But anyway, I appreciate, again, everybody commenting and watching the video. I appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. If you guys are willing to watch, I'm willing to keep making them. So